Andy Ruiz is going to conquer again in the division. You can't sleep on him. He made the same mistake I made after I fought Klitschko. You can't make all that money and then go and do whatever you want to do. You've got to stay focused. There was a rematch to come and he didn't stay focused, and that's what happens. He got way more money than I got, so I can't imagine. I know Andy. I know his pops. I love those guys. I've been out in LA with him one on one. He's one of the greatest fighters that you can ever sit down and talk to. You wouldn't even think he was a fighter. It will fool you. He has the greatest spirit of all fighters I know in the world. So that is what Kevin Kingpin Johnson had to say. And I believe Kevin Johnson is fighting Marius Walk next pretty soon. Basically a fight of the veterans because those guys are like way over their primes. But as you can see, he says that he believes Andy Ruiz can conquer again and become a champion at heavyweight. Now, do I think that Andy Ruiz could become a champion at heavyweight again? Not if he is in the condition that he was when he fought Anthony Joshua. Not if he no longer has that ambition. If he does not get himself in shape, and if he no longer has the ambition that he had the first time around, I don't see him being able to become a champion. And to be quite honest with you, him against the two champions right now, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, I don't see him being able to beat none of those guys. I think Tyson Fury would be an absolute nightmare for somebody like Andy Ruiz, to be quite honest with you. That's my honest opinion. I think his style, he's so much taller than Andy Ruiz. He has such a massive arm reach advantage over him. I think he could literally box circles around Andy Ruiz Jr. And I think Anthony Joshua already knows how he could beat Andy Ruiz now, and he'll do the same thing in the rematch. So if he were to fight these two guys, I don't think he could beat them. But I don't think he could possibly become a champion again if he were to be challenging maybe for a vacant belt against some other guy who's less talented and less tricky of an opponent than somebody like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. But like I said, also he would have to take boxing seriously, show that he still wants it, show that he still has ambition, and get himself in better shape. All right, because being that grossly out of shape, you're not going to be able to catch up. Fighters already know that they could beat you by using their legs against you. They already, they saw the blueprint that AJ did with him, where foot speed is Andy Ruiz's biggest kryptonite. Movement. If he has to chase you, that's a problem for Andy Ruiz Jr. He's a counterpuncher. Counterpunchers love it when you go after them, and then they could counter you. They throw a punch, you make them miss, and then you make them pay. That's what a counterpuncher loves. They love it when a guy goes after them so that they could counterpunch them. They give them the opportunity to counterpunch them. But when you move away from the counterpuncher and you use your legs and you're moving, you're going from side to side and bouncing around the ring, you force the counterpuncher to get out of his comfort zone and chase you. And that's why Andy Ruiz looked terrible when he fought Anthony Joshua, because he's not accustomed to walking fighters down. He's not. That's not his style. He's not a Gennady Golovkin. He's not a Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson could walk guys down, and he was good at walking dudes down. Gennady Golovkin is an expert at walking guys down. You know, Andy Ruiz Jr. is not a fighter that walks guys down. He's not. He's a counterpuncher. You know, so I don't think he could currently beat the two champions right now, even if he was in shape. But I do think he does still have the ability to become a champion, or at least be a top contender if he does take himself seriously, if he still has the love for the sport of boxing, and if he trains like he wants to win the fights. That's why I'm curious to see him in his next. I'm curious to see him when he fights his next live opponent, because that's where you'll see how much ambition he has when he fights the next dude, whoever he fights. That's why I wanted him to fight Louis King Kong Ortiz, because that would have been a good test for him. I'm actually very intrigued to see how Andy Ruiz performs in his next fight. That's going to tell me, at least, a lot of how much ambition he has left as a fighter.